What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you can get notified soon as content drops on the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, the latest news on Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. We're going to cover part of it today in this video. So, this video here, we're going to talk about Chris Eubank Sr. As I was watching the Fight Is Right podcast with Spencer Fearon and Tunde Ajayi, Spencer Fearon quote that he said he received a message from Eubank Senior, to say that people should just boycott this fight. And Eubank Senior, he gave his reasons for why he thinks people should boycott the fight. First of all, he said the fight's too dangerous for his son. He said that £3 weight deduction is going to be too dangerous for his son. As we know that Chris Eubank Jr. has never made a weight below 160 pounds, so below middleweight as a professional. As an amateur, I'm not too sure. I know he didn't have that many fights as an amateur, so he more than likely probably fought as a middleweight as an amateur too. I might be wrong, that might be wrong, but whatever. But we know he's never made a weight below 160 as a professional. So his dad said, look, this is very dangerous. This is too dangerous for my son. He warned that, when you start doing this thing and cutting the weight that really is below what you can do naturally, this is how brain injuries occur. So he expressed big worries for his son and said, look, people should just boycott this fight. Don't watch this fight. And, of course, £3 weight deduction, that's too dangerous for his son. And he also highlighted the fact that obviously he lost his son, he lost Sebastian, I believe about a year ago now, and he said, I cannot lose another son. So there was what sounds like a serious plea there from Chris Eubank Sr. saying to everyone, look, just boycott the fight. I think he realizes he can't prevent his son from fighting. And we haven't seen him at all in the media ahead of this fight. It's literally, for me, I think it's just been this message. Some have suggested that Chris Eubank Sr., what he's doing here is just all theatre, because as we know, Chris Eubank Sr. does enjoy the spotlight. He does enjoy being in the public eye, and he's a bit of a show off. He's a big character. Who enjoys the fame, enjoys the spotlight. So many people are trying to say, look, this is just something he's doing for fame, to just bring attention to his son's fight. Which, okay, fair enough. I can see why they're saying that. But there's others among us that say, look, he wouldn't bring his son into it, who's passed away, for the sake of clout, for the sake of fame. Why would he bring a son that's passed away into it, just to get a bit of fame? Surely that's a bit too much. That's a bit over the top. And but I think there's also the other argument on this, that when Eubank Senior is calling for the boycott, that he's just speaking passionately. He's speaking passionately from the heart. He's speaking out of emotion. And he has a genuine worry, genuine concern for his son, because we have to remember, it's not been that long since his other, the younger son, Sebastian, since he passed away. So there's also the argument that, look, Eubank Senior is having is feeling a lot of anxiety here for his son, because he's in that emotional place where, he's obviously feeling the pain of the loss. He could be feeling anxiety here because, look, his son's going into a fight. His son's going in at a slight disadvantage because he's the bigger guy. He's coming down. He's having to cut weight. So it could be that this is just his way of trying to protect his son, because he's feeling anxiety at this point and he's feeling emotional at this point. I think that could be his reasoning here for this. But I would say that, similar to what Hatman said in his video, that, Chris Eubank Sr., whether he genuinely wants this fight to be boycotted or not, he's bringing a lot more attention to the fight by what he's saying, because he's highlighting that the fight is dangerous. is too dangerous for my son and all this sort of thing. And when you put things like that out there, that, oh, I'm going to pull my son out of this because it's a dangerous situation, I don't want my son in this catchweight fight, you are bringing attention to the fight anyway, because that's a lot of the time people like to see it. People want to see danger. People want to see car crash TV and all that. So he, regardless of how he genuinely feels, he's definitely bringing more and more attention to this fight by saying, "Oh, we should just boycott it, and my son shouldn't be in there." I think that is bringing more attention to the fight. Also, for me, my little thoughts on what he said here, that I think he's more than likely he's genuine about what he's saying, because he's talking about, you know, his sons and that, and he does care. You can tell he does care. You can tell even by the old program that where they had Lennox Lewis over to the house back in the day, and it was like a reality TV show about the Eubank family. You could tell that, you know, even back then, Chris Eubank Sr. said directly to his son, "I don't want you boxing, it's too hard, it's too much." So he does genuinely care about his son. He doesn't even want his son boxing in the first place because he knows how dangerous it is. So I think there's a genuineness there with Eubank Sr. Also, regarding, you know, the danger for his son, while his son is the bigger guy, I personally don't think that 3 pound, you know, below middleweight, that catch weight is going to necessarily hurt Eubank Jr. But I will say that there is a real possibility that the rehydration clause, where he can't rehydrate above a certain point, I think that is where, if Eubank Jr. is not careful, that could hurt him. I don't think, you know, being sort of making 157 is going to hurt him here. But I think that rehydration thing, where he's not allowed to come in, you know, I think it's about 10 pounds over the 157. I think that might hurt him. And, you know, that's where he might be drained if he doesn't do things right. So in that sense, I kind of understand the concerns of Senior. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this, about Chris Eubank Sr. calling for a boycott on his son's fight. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out.